Once upon a time, there was a mighty lion who ruled the forest with his mighty roar. One day, while strolling through the woods, he saw a small rabbit. Despite his carnivorous tendencies, he felt a strange bond forming with the innocent creature. They started spending time together, and soon their bond grew stronger. Despite their differences, the lion and rabbit had fallen in love. They spent their days sharing stories and exploring the enchanting forests. But predators and hunters also lived in that forest, and it became increasingly dangerous for the small rabbit. The lion came up with a plan to protect his beloved. He built a burrow for the rabbit to hide and stationed himself outside to stand guard. They spent their days cuddled up in the burrow until it was safe to go out. Eventually, the rabbit grew old and left the world, but the lion kept visiting the burrow every day. The love between them showed that love knows no boundaries. They proved that love is not about appearances or differences, but the bond that is formed between two souls. Once upon a time, in a vast and verdant jungle, lived a handsome lion and a tiny rabbit. The lion was feared by all animals, but the rabbit wasn't afraid of him. In fact, the rabbit admired the lion's strength and courage. The lion was surprised by the rabbit's bravado, and over time, they got to know each other better. As they spent time together, the lion and rabbit realized they had developed feelings for each other. Though they knew their love was forbidden, they couldn't help but be together. They had to keep their love secret from the other animals in the jungle. One day, when the lion was being hunted by the other animals, the rabbit stepped in to protect him. This act of bravery made the lion realize just how much he loathed the rabbit. He fought off the other animals and protected the little rabbit. From that day on, the lion and rabbit lived together, out of the sight of the other animals. Their love remained strong and unbreakable, proving that true love always finds a way. Once upon a time, a mighty lion lived in a forest. One day, while walking through the woods, he spotted a tiny rabbit stuck in a trap. The lion freed the rabbit, and the two instantly became friends. As time passed, the lion and rabbit grew closer and realized they shared a deep love for each other. Despite their differences, the lion's fierce strength and the rabbit's gentle nature complemented each other. One day, a group of hunters arrived in the forest, and the animals were terrified. The lion vowed to protect his beloved rabbit and the rest of the animals in the forest. He led them to safety by fighting off the hunters and their dogs. After the victory, the other animals in the forest came together to celebrate the love between the lion and rabbit. They understood that despite their physical differences, love prevails. With the lion's strength and the rabbit's gentleness, they proved that love comes in all shapes and sizes. The lion and rabbit lived happily ever after, surrounded by love and the respect of all the creatures in the forest. Once upon a time, a lion and a rabbit found themselves crossing paths in a beautiful forest. Initially, the lion was intrigued by the rabbit's quickness and agility. But as they spent more time together, the lion found himself enchanted by the rabbit's gentle heart. As they spent more time together, the lion and rabbit found themselves falling in love. Their different natures made them an unlikely couple, but their bond was strong. One evening, while strolling together, the lion and rabbit stumbled upon a beautiful clearing in the forest, bathed in moonlight. The lion knew it was the perfect moment to declare his love for the rabbit. He roared with all his strength to declare his love, and in return, the rabbit responded with a soft and gentle dance. From that day on, the lion and rabbit were inseparable. They spent their days exploring the forest, running through the grassy fields, and cuddling close to each other. Their love proved that no matter what the differences may be, true love always finds a way to flourish. Once upon a time, a mighty lion and a small rabbit lived in a vast forest. The lion was feared by all the animals, but the rabbit was not intimidated. In fact, the rabbit had always been fascinated by the lion's power. The two began spending time together, and soon they grew to enjoy each other's company. One day, the lion realized that he had fallen in love with the tiny rabbit. At first, he was ashamed of his feelings, but the rabbit saw the good in the lion and encouraged him to embrace his true self. Over time, the lion and rabbit's love for each other only grew stronger. They would run and play together through the forest, and the other animals in the forest began to see the tenderness between them. Eventually, the lion and rabbit's love became a symbol of true beauty and commitment. They showed that love knows no boundaries and that it takes many forms. No matter their differences or what others may say, love always finds a way. Once upon a time, a fierce lion and a meek rabbit met in a forest. Despite their initial differences, the two became fast friends. As time passed, the lion found himself enamored with the rabbit's kind spirit and gentle nature. One day, while out exploring the forest together, the lion worked up the courage to confess his love to the rabbit. The rabbit was surprised but delighted to hear the lion's words. From that moment on, the two were inseparable. However, not everyone in the forest was accepting of their love. Some of the other animals mocked and ridiculed them, calling the pairing strange and unnatural. But the lion and rabbit refused to let the opinions of others dictate their happiness. Over time, as they remained devoted to each other, the other animals began to see that love knows no boundaries, and they too came to accept and honor the love that the lion and rabbit shared. The two remained together, inspiring others to find beauty in the unexpected until the end of their days. Once upon a time, in a vast jungle, a lion and a rabbit met. The lion was a majestic king of the jungle, while the rabbit was a tiny and shy creature. Despite their differences, they hit it off right away and fell in love. The relationship faced criticism and judgment from other animals in the jungle, who couldn't understand how a predator and prey could love each other. But the lion and rabbit didn't let the others' opinions affect them. One day, the lion fell into a trap laid down by poachers. The rabbit risked everything to save the lion, and even though the lion had always been the protector in their relationship, he was grateful for the rabbit's devotion. From that day on, the love between the lion and rabbit grew stronger than ever. They knew that true love knows no boundaries, and they proved to everyone in the jungle that love can conquer all. Once upon a time, in a beautiful and lush forest, a lion and a rabbit met. Despite their differences, they formed an instant connection. As time passed, the lion and rabbit discovered they were in love. As their feelings for each other grew stronger, the two realized that their love was challenging and unique. The lion was a powerful creature in the forest, and the rabbit was small and gentle. Nevertheless, the lion vowed to protect the rabbit with all his might. One day, the two were out in the open field when a hunter aimed his weapon at them. The lion fearlessly jumped in front of the rabbit to shield her and faced the threat head-on. The hunter was impressed and decided to spare them. That day, the lion and rabbit's love grew even stronger, and the other animals in the forest came to recognize their special bond. They realized that love knows no boundaries and that the different traits that make us unique can sometimes bring us closer together. The lion and rabbit's love was truly one of a kind. Once upon a time, a mighty lion lived in a dense forest, while a small rabbit lived nearby. One day, the lion saw the rabbit and decided to chase after her. But to his surprise, the rabbit didn't run away or fear the lion. They started talking and found they had a lot in common. As they continued to spend time together, the lion and rabbit fell in love. Their love was frowned upon by the other animals in the forest, who thought it was unnatural, but the two didn't care. They believed that love knows no bounds. One day, while out exploring, the lion and rabbit stumbled upon a beautiful meadow. The lion roared with joy, and the rabbit danced around him. What happened next was they saw that all the animals in the forest were drawn to the beauty of their love. Even the ones who had judged them before joined in with them, proving that true love can change hearts and minds. Once upon a time, in a big jungle, lived a fierce lion and a timid little rabbit. Despite their differences, they became good friends. The lion admired the rabbit's gentleness and humility, while the rabbit was fascinated by the lion's strength and authority. As they spent more time together, they realized that they had fallen in love. At first, the lion was hesitant because he was supposed to be the predator and the rabbit his prey, but he could not help his feelings. The rabbit, on the other hand, loved the lion's courageous ways and gentle demeanor. They decided to keep their love a secret because they knew other animals wouldn't approve. One day, the rabbit was trapped in a hunter's net. The lion, using his strength, broke the net and saved the rabbit. That day, they realized that their love was worth fighting for. In the end, all the animals in the jungle accepted their love, and they lived happily ever after. Their love proved that differences shouldn't stop one from loving another. Once upon a time, in a land of lush forests and wild animals, lived a mighty lion and a modest rabbit. Despite their physical differences and natural tendencies, the lion and rabbit formed an unlikely bond. As they spent more time together, the lion began to see the rabbit's pure heart and kind spirit. The rabbit, in turn, admired the lion's strength and courage. Soon, they both realized that they had fallen in love. At first, they kept their love a secret, knowing the other animals in the forest wouldn't understand their relationship. But the love between the lion and rabbit was too strong to deny. They stood tall in the face of criticism and prejudice and surpassed it. As their relationship blossomed, other animals in the forest began to see the beauty in their love. And so they lived happily ever after, proving that true love knows no boundaries and can overcome any obstacle. Once upon a time, a fierce lion roamed the African savanna, while a small rabbit lived in the nearby woods. The lion, intrigued by the rabbit's humble nature, decided to strike up a conversation. Over time, the two formed an inseparable bond. They would spend hours sharing stories and learning from each other. Eventually, the lion realized he had fallen in love with the rabbit. At first, they kept their love a secret, knowing that other animals in the savannah wouldn't approve. But soon, they couldn't resist their feelings any longer. One day, while the two were out in the open fields, the lion declared his love to the rabbit. The rabbit, surprised but joyful, accepted the lion's love. With their love out in the open, other animals judged and insulted them. But the love between the lion and rabbit only grew stronger with time. They proved that true love knows no boundaries and that love can conquer everything. The lion and the rabbit lived happily ever after, their love inspiring joy and hope amongst the animals. Once upon a time, in a dense jungle, a mighty lion and a timid rabbit lived. The rabbit lived in fear of the lion, but as they spent more time together, they formed an unlikely bond. The lion soon realized the rabbit's gentle spirit and found himself attracted to her kind heart. Over time, their bond deepened into love. They spent their days romping through the dense forest, reveling in each other's company. Though other animals in the jungle mocked and ridiculed their love, the lion and rabbit remained steadfast in their relationship. One day, while playing, the lion accidentally hurt the rabbit, and in his shame, the lion ran away. The rabbit, though injured, forgave him, chasing after him through the jungle to reassure him that her love was true and enduring. From that moment, the lion and rabbit's love blossomed even more, and their devotion to each other proved that love, no matter how unusual it may seem, is worth everything. Once upon a time, in a vast and wondrous savanna, lived a brave lion and a small rabbit. The lion was feared among all the animals, but the rabbit saw past his fierce exterior and was captivated by his true nature. As they got to know each other better, the lion and rabbit began to fall in love. They knew their love was unique and unconventional, but they accepted it and nurtured it. Despite the ridicule and judgment from their fellow animals, the lion and rabbit remained devoted to each other. They would spend hours exploring the savanna hand in hand, and the lion would always watch over the rabbit to keep her safe. Their love inspired other animals in the savanna to open their minds to different forms of love, and in time, the once mocked couple became a symbol of true love and devotion. The lion and rabbit lived a long, happy life together, proving that love is not defined by expectations or prejudices, but by the connection between two hearts. Once upon a time, in a beautiful green forest, lived a mighty lion and a meek rabbit. Despite their different sizes and lifestyles, they formed a close bond and soon discovered that they had fallen in love. As their love grew stronger, they knew that they had to keep it a secret from the other animals in the forest, who would not accept their relationship. They continued to meet every day and explored the breathtaking beauty of the forest together. One day, the lion and rabbit were walking amid the forest and stumbled upon a beautiful clearing. The lion looked at the rabbit, roared out his love, and the rabbit responded with a soft dance of love. The love between the lion and rabbit became a legend in the forest, as it proved that love can overcome differences and bind souls together. The lion and rabbit's love became a symbol of the power inherent in love that knew no boundaries, and they lived together, inspiring joy and love for the rest of their lives. Once upon a time, in a deep and dense jungle, a lion and a rabbit lived. The lion was the king of the jungle, while the rabbit was soft and timid. Despite their differences, they formed an unexpected bond. Over time, their connection grew deeper, and they realized that they had fallen in love. The lion protected the rabbit from danger, and the rabbit gave the lion the love and warmth he needed. Their love became a source of admiration and jealousy for other animals in the jungle, who mocked them for their differences. But the lion and rabbit didn't let the other animals' opinions deter them from their true love. Their love proved that true love knows no boundaries and that love can bloom even in the unlikeliest of places. They lived together, untouched by the negativity around them, and shared a love that was nothing short of magical. Once upon a time, in a vast and diverse forest, a powerful lion and a tiny rabbit met. Despite their differences, they formed an unlikely friendship that eventually blossomed into love. As their bond grew stronger, the lion and rabbit shared many adventures and found meaning in each other's company. Though other animals looked down upon their love, the lion and rabbit knew that their bond was true. One day, while exploring the wide forest, the lion and rabbit chanced upon a beautiful waterfall. The lion roared out his love, and the rabbit responded with a joyful hop. In that moment, they knew that they were truly meant for each other. Their love became a beacon of hope and light for other animals in the forest, who slowly began to understand and accept their love. The lion and rabbit lived happily ever after, proving that love can conquer all boundaries and that love brings joy and warmth into every heart. Once upon a time, high in the mountains, lived a proud and mighty lion and a shy and timid rabbit. Despite the lion's reputation for hunting herbivores like the rabbit, the two formed an unlikely friendship. As they spent more time together, their friendship grew into something deeper. They fell in love, though they knew that the other animals in the mountains would never understand. Despite the challenges they faced, they stayed devoted to each other. They spent their days exploring the mountains, enjoying each other's company. Their love brought warmth and harmony to the mountains, and even the other animals began to acknowledge and celebrate their love. The lion and rabbit's love proved that true love transcends all boundaries and that love can indeed conquer all. In the end, the lion and rabbit lived happily ever after, surrounded by the love and respect of all the creatures in the mountains. Once upon a time, in the sprawling savannas of Africa, a powerful lion and a gentle rabbit met. Despite their differences, they became fast friends. As their friendship deepened, they discovered that they were in love. The lion was hesitant to pursue it, fearing the criticism of other animals. But the rabbit, seeing the lion's pure heart,